and welcome to our Nordmann showroom in Basel. Today we're going to do a webinar about BMS communication with our units. We're going to show you how to control an Omega by Modbus, an Omega Pro over BACnet IP, everything on the logic machine to KNX, and voice control over Amazon Alexa. So first we do a little tour through our showroom. That's our steam cabin. You see here on top is the exhaust fan. Here are the lights on top. There's the temperature sensor. There we've got a display inside the steam cabin, and these little things over here are sound speakers, transducers from WHE. Just a quick sound check. Okay. So next unit is the 84D, an electro type steam generator. Modbus connection port is just on the bottom here. Then we have our small Omega that's also connected to the logic machine inside the showroom, as well as the Omega Pro next to it. I'm going to show you later on how we control it over BACnet IP. BACnet IP port is here, Modbus port is here. Then we have there our Sigma, no Modbus capability, so not part of this webinar. Here we've got our Delta SPA control. Modbus port connection is over here. Here we've got an RJ45 port for the web server and software updates. It's the same PCB as used in the Omega. Then over here we've got the external displays. Here's for the Delta SPA, that's for the 84D. With that one you can control the Delta SPA and the Omega at the same time. Then the logic machine we have installed here. So all the units on the wall are connected here, and here it goes through KNX, or we use it as a web server. See that later on. Then we have got the iPad. So there's the KNX visualization done as a hotel. So you see the rooms, you see sauna, steam bath. Then on the table we have Amazon Alexa. Alexa, turn on steam bath.
Okay.
And the steam bath stops.
So before we start with the PowerPoint, just why we're doing it or why we came to the idea. Like a couple of weeks ago, a guy from Denmark, Yannick, called me. I was there in, I don't know, August, September to train them up in Roskilde on an installation with an Omega Pro and 3 Delta SPA. There was also a system integrator floating around, and they wanted to install a second temperature sensor in the sauna cabin so that they can check the temperature all the time, but independent of the Delta SPA. And I told them, well, you know, all our units got Modbus, so you could actually grab it from there. I said, oh, that's a good idea, so we do that. So a couple of weeks ago, it was the case that I wanted to implement the Delta SPA, and the system integrator then said, I can't find your Delta SPA in our BMS system, so we need some help. So Yannick called me, is like, oh, help. They can't find the Delta SPA, what should we do? And yeah, I gave him a tool, Modbus Paul. So we made sure that the Delta SPA was working fine, and I could read out all the data they needed. And in the end, it came out that a software setting in the software of the system integrator was wrong, so that's why it wasn't working. But at the end, it was all fine. So we do the PowerPoint now with a bit of general stuff, and then go straight forward with an example of how to read and write Modbus on an Omega. So share the screen. Screen 2. So, und vielleicht das. So. Laser pointer. There you go. So why would you have a BMS? What is the advantage or also maybe disadvantage out of it? What does it mean for you as a steam bus contractor, a steam bus manufacturer, or an on-site technician? How do you set it up on the Omega, Delta Spa, Omega Pro? How you install it, meaning more or less the wiring, and how to test it. So how do you read out values over Modbus or BACnet on our units? So we start, why would you have a building management system in general? So it would be a remote control and monitoring of all building services, mainly HVAC, lighting, window blinds, energy control consumption, video surveillance, door access, or fire protection, smoke evacuation, stuff like that. All should result in a cost reduction through energy optimization and lower down times due to faster troubleshooting and preventive maintenance. So converting that into a commercial spa, very similar. So you could remote control and survey the complete spa area from the reception. You would find out peaks of usage if you have door contacts. So you count how often a door would open and close. With that information, you could do energy saving with keep warm functions on low frequent times. Means you have the cabins on a lower temperature when there's less people there. When people are coming, they press on a button and then the cabin starts to heat up instead of having them all the time at 45 degrees on a steam bus, for example. Also, you could do preventive maintenance. I know from a customer from us that he was surveying the resistance of the heating elements on the sauna stove. So if they were increasing, he knew that they were soon due for change. Also, you can see how much time is left until service on the Omega Pro, for example. So you can plan it advanced. Then you can have different themes for your cabins. Tropical theme where it's like orange and you got different fragrance. Next day it's like I don't know, different theme, different likes, different temperature, different fragrance. All of that can be set then just by Modbus. So you got some presets. And all of the above should end in a better user experience. Also less downtime. The cabins are more up and running because you can plan better. If there's a fault, it's faster to react. Disadvantages, it's a special personnel needed to integrate this spa into an existing BMS or set up a separate BMS just for the spa area. And the spa personnel or the operating personnel might rely on information giving on the displays, like just on the reception. So they sit on the reception and know everything is fine and stop doing their walkarounds or do less walkarounds. So leakages might be missed or tolls are floating around, stuff like that. On private end users, they're just easy to operate. You got your phone or tablet in your hands. You might have your whole house as well for lights, shadings, see what the solar power is doing or whatever. You can customize the layout, so you use the pictures of the actual steam bus that's installed or sauna. The customer is used to control everything, as I said before, fits into digital buildings. Yeah, digital building, when you see how much power the solar is doing at the moment or how much you consuming. So if you have already that in place, you want to have the steam bus or your private wellness areas on the tablet as well. Disadvantages that might come with it is all components work together. A software update on one part might cause a problem somewhere else. Example, just have experience here myself in the showroom. The RGB lighting is the Philips Hue. So the Hue bridge needed an update, and after that software update on the Hue bridge, the KNX didn't find the Hue bridge anymore. So the KNX needed an update as well. KNX is quite special because they need like ETS, it's called, a special software. So you need a KNX guy for it. Just, yeah, it can make some trouble, but it's also, yeah, you can always sort it out. And also when you remotely control steam bars or sauna, you need additional safety equipment, a door contact on the steam bars. So not that you start the steam bars, the door is open, the steam goes everywhere, and the steam is damaging your house. Or towel protection on saunas, that there's nothing, just to make sure there's nothing on the stove. So what does all that BMS stuff and smart spa, whatever, mean for you as a steam bus manufacturer? It's basically more coordination. Before you were working with a plumber, an electrician, and so on. And as soon as you have a BMS or smart home comes up, you're dealing with a new person, a system integrator. So what does the system integrator want from you? First of all, he needs the address chart where all the registers are in. So he can map the steam generator into his system. He needs the wiring diagram so he knows where he can connect his cables. And for sure, he wants you to configure the steam generator with his settings, means like the right address, the baud rate, etc. Quick overview. You see our products with can do BMS, or we've got a Modbus port. So you got the 84D, the Omega Pro, Delta Spa and Omega. They both have the same PCB, so they're just here as one. All of our units have Modbus on board as a standard. If it's coming to BACnet, you need a gateway for the 84D. Omega Pro has it always integrated. Delta Spa and Omega, you would need the logic machine. If KNX is requested, yeah, it's the logic machine gateway, which does it from Modbus to KNX. If you want to have your spa in the cloud, you can work also with the logic machine and control it from the internet from everywhere. Just to come back to simple things, 90% of the time a start-stop button might do the job. You got a RFI, remote fault indication, with dry contacts for the status on, steaming, error on service. And of course the external display, which can also be installed on the reception. First example will be reading and writing data with Modbus on the Omega, as shown on the video before. So switch the camera now to the display. You see the display of the Omega now. So we can compare later. I will zoom it in later, so yeah, things get a bit clearer. So first thing is setting up the Omega itself, the Modbus. So you go into the engineering menu with code 1055, Spark control board, then on Modbus settings, then you choose the Modbus gateway, and here you see its address, baud rate, parity. That's all the stuff that you will get from the, or you should get basically from the system integrator. It will tell you what address the steam generator should have, the baud rate and all that. So that is where you can set it. Once that's done, for testing reasons, you have to check where your RS485 gateway is, which COM port it has. So you go on the system config on your computer. Here's the RS485 gateway. It's on COM10. Also, when you double click on it, you see here COM10. Next thing is then the Modbus poll. Just gonna open it again. Here we see the display as seen before on the camera. Then I have also here, that's the integration manual for Delta Spa and Omega. So here we go to this interface. There you see what's all able to do. But I just want that chart. That's how you should connect it. How to set it up. Modbus parameters. There you go. So we see system. Oh, fuck's sake. System status 512. 0 would be null fault. Bigger than 0 is fault. It's showing 1032. You see red triangle, red LED. Unit is on error at the moment. Fault 20. Bit of reason. No connection, it says. I'm talking a lot of bullshit. So let's connect it first. Das ist echt. Register later, ja. Dann nehmen wir den da. So now I choose the RS485 gateway. Ta-da! All of a sudden, you get some proper values. Yeah, that's what I wanted. See the temperature, 20.8, so that fits. Hour 22, which would be max filling time. Light is on, that's right. Set point 40 degrees. So let's have a look if it's actually true. Here you go, error 22, warning 14, max filling time. Of course, there's no water. So that's about right. Now I restart the unit. Quickly lose Modbus connection, but read the value straight again. So you look on the display, status 0, no error, no fault. Light is off, set point is 40. There we switched on the light. I have to go back to the camera so we see, and the light symbol comes on. So now let's get a new value. So now we want to read out the warning as well, as there's no door contact installed or no bridge. Like soon there will be another warning popping up. Ah. So read write definition. And we take the one for warnings, which is actual warning. It's register 4872. So you take the address 4872. ID is 1, that's the address of the thing. Then what is important is all in the menu is 1 based. There you see. So where was it? There, 1 based. We don't need to apply. Fit to quantity, apply. Okay. So now we're reading the warnings. Whoop. We need as well format 32-bit unsigned big endian. That's also yeah, format unsigned integer 32-bit. Now it popped up already 14. Let's have a look again on the display. There's a yellow warning triangle. Let's press on the display. And you should see the max door open time. Warning 14, max door open. So with all of that, you have proven a working Modbus connection. Yeah, and that was already it. So you've seen in the video before how you, or where to connect it, basically how to set the Omega up, how to have a look for the COM port of your RS485, and then on the test software Modbus Pol, how to read and write the values. We switched on the light, turn it off again, we read the fault codes, warning codes, temperature, but that is working. No, it's fine. So that was Modbus on the Omega.